Hey family, welcome to the Hub. So I was talking to one of the members of the Real Love Network earlier today, and one of the things that she said to me is, Coach Cass, how do I get to the date? I'm meeting men, right? I'm doing the things, I'm connecting with men, but how do we really get to the date? I told her that that wasn't specific enough. Here's the thing, right, ladies? Many of you have generic questions that are ethereal, theoretic, right? They're theoretical. They literally, it's something that keeps you up at night, not actually anything that you're experiencing. And then you think it over so much that nothing happens. Have you ever felt like in a sunken place when it comes to dating? Have you ever felt stuck in mud or cement blocks? Have you ever been in a place where you're just like, well, I don't even know if I should try because the last time this just didn't work out? I'm going to tell you right now, without being in action, it is very hard. It is very hard to improve tactics, right? Everybody wants to know all the tactics. So you learn the tactics, but then if you're not doing the tactics and sitting on them, it's literally like that story from the Bible of the talents. And one guy invested it, one guy stuck it in the mud, right? Like, seriously, it's like you're sticking your talent in the mud. So back to this lady. So I was talking to this beautiful lady, and she's like, Coach Cass, I'm meeting the guys. We're having a good time, but how do I get to the date? I haven't been getting to the date as of late. And I said, give me a specific example. Sis, specificity, right? So she was able to share with me a certain guy that she had been talking to, and they talked a couple times a week, and how they were supposed to go out, it didn't work out. And it really hasn't happened to where they've gotten on this date. So I shared with her a simple text to send him. And within our phone call, he texted back saying he wanted to see her this weekend on Saturday. And not only that, she texted it to a couple other guys. And another one wants to see her on Friday. So sis went from frustrated and in demise and despair and ready to give up to, oh, well, hey, I got arrested this weekend. I got a couple of fellas trying to take me out. Like, what is going on over here? Right? So she went from 0 to 2 and counting, right? One guy, she was like, you know what? I don't like the banter we have going on. I don't even know if I want to go out with this person. Right? But you can only do that if you're in action. If you're just sitting and thinking about it, it wouldn't have been the same session, right? So we could sit and think, how do you get to the date? But if you're not doing the things to connect with men, whether online or offline or in person or out of person or whatever, what are we talking about, right? So I'm really bringing all this up to say, stop thinking about it and get into action, right? Some of you have just been thinking, oh, but Coach Cass, I went through a divorce. Oh, but I had a harsh breakup. Oh, but I've been healing for the last 10 years from that thing that happened. Sis, I need you to get into action. And the reason I say this, very sadly, I live in a condo, and today one of my neighbors called me to tell me that the woman that parks her car next to mine had passed away. This woman was single, right? She did have a child. The child did not live with her, right? And the part that was really rough for me is that she was there in her apartment, dead for 2 weeks. And nobody came. Nobody came. She died alone. And I know for some of you listening, that is your worst fear, to die alone. Now, some of you have fam and friends that you're surrounded by, and some of you do not. And you constantly are working. You're just working, right? Never skip a day, always doing the things. Maybe you go on the girls' trip and things, but when it comes to love, you are constantly on this dating merry-go-round is what I call it, right? You get excited. You get really excited. You're in action. Things don't necessarily go the way that you want. So you get to this place of a standstill. And then it's a decline. And then something happens and you get excited, right? And it's like this merry-go-round that you're going around on. For a little bit, it's cool, right? You're riding on the rides, the music's playing and the wind in your hair. You got the cool horse, so you're on the purple horse with the rainbow colors or the glitter or whatever. But after a while, that little musical song, doesn't it get tired? Don't you start to say, can somebody change the music? Do you have a trap version? Right? Do you have a gospel version? Right? We start to look at this merry-go-round is not so fun anymore. Here's my invitation, sis. Let's not do merry-go-rounds. Let's make commitments. What are you committing to? What are you committing to? What are you committing to making happen in your love life? And so for some of you might be like, oh, Coach Cass, that's not soft life. That's not feminine enough when you say making happen. Let me tell you something. What you've been doing has not been working. So at the end of this, it still has to be something that you got to make happen, because this osmosis tactic that you got going, it's not working out. It's not working out for you. Okay? It's not. So that's my invitation. If you are serious about being able to partner with someone amazing in this world, that is the mission I'm on. For one, for you to realize that you are a wanted woman achieving new triumphs every day. Now it's just to figure out what you want and how to get it, sis. Now I have a live event coming up that you can still make it to, okay? So what do you need to do? Go to wantedwomanlive.com. You heard me? wantedwomanlive.com and get your ticket. It's a 3-day experience, all to pour into you when it comes to love, setting aside time to get poured into. This is for you, sis. Join me. No excuses. Just make it happen. wantedwomanlive.com. If you have any questions, you know how to hit me up on all of the socials. It's also in the show notes, right? So I just want to make sure that when you die, there's somebody there to hold you. Oh my God. All right, y'all. You have a good night. I love you. Truly, I do. And as a married woman, yes, your husband gets on your nerves, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade him out for anybody else, right? To know that that person is in my corner. You're already a wanted woman. Understand that. You're already the whole cake. But how do we get that icing? How do we put some icing on it? And that's what we got to talk about. Let's get that icing and the sprinkles. Join me at Wanted Woman Live. Okay? All right.